Walking Dead: The World Beyond, the second spin-off show for the main show, The Walking Dead. I'm a huge Walking Dead fan, and I was excited to watch this series because it's supposed to connect in with the Rick Grimes movies and supposed to tell us a lot about the CRM group, the group that took Rick Grimes, the group with the three circles intertwined, and hopefully this show is going to clear up exactly who this group is, what they want with Rick Grimes, what are their intentions, and what does A's and B's actually mean when it's got to do with walkers. Now, this show follows the next generation that's growing up in the zombie apocalypse, but they don't grow up in outside the world where they have to face walkers every single day. They live in a tight-knit community where they're protected. They're away from the walkers. Some of them don't even know how to fight walkers. They live day to day. They go to school. Some people have jobs. It's like the perfect life. And I find that very fascinating that they can live day to day without the worries of zombies or with bad people. It's much like, it's very different from the main show where they have to fight walkers and they have to fight people just to survive every single day. But it's supposed to connect in with the Rick Grimes movies, and I'm very interested to see how it clears up a lot of these mysteries and how it makes new mysteries. Now, lots of people online are saying the pilot of this episode was boring and uninteresting. I have to say I disagree. I found this pilot very interesting, and it sets up a lot of mystery, not only for this season but also for the Rick Grimes movies. Now, the mystery, of course, is around that CRM group, which is called the Civic Republic Military. Now, this group, we don't know much about this group. Even in the episode, we don't know where they come from, where they are located. We know that maybe they're in New York as well, but they also have different branches, probably all around America. We found out a thing called the four corner agreement, which is does that mean the four corners of America? Does that mean the four corners of a certain state? It's very interesting. It sets up a lot of mystery. Now, the thing with mysteries and shows is mystery is great. It's great. It keeps you engaged. It keeps you week to week wanting to find out the answers. But it's only good if those answers are explained and answered. And I think they will be, because this season, The World Beyond, is 10 episodes. And it's only running for 2 seasons. So that's 20 episodes altogether. So they have got time to clear up a lot of mystery, clear up a lot of questions, but also tell a fast-paced story. And this episode was actually fast-paced. And we follow the main characters really are Iris and Hope, two sisters who their father is a scientist, and he's gone to work for the Civic Republic to try and find a cure, to try and rebuild society. And Iris particularly is very proud of this. She is very much kind of the good child. She is the leader of the class. She probably has very smart. She probably gets straight A's, things like that. And Hope is kind of the rebellion type. She's against the Civic Republic. She does not trust them whatsoever for taking her father. But also Iris has a very interesting mind space. She is haunted by the memories of an event that took place 10 years prior, which led to the death of her mother. And then they describe it as the sky falling down. Her mother died and she lost her mother, and it was they flash back to what happened. And there's a lot of scary imagery. A lot of these walkers look very scary and well done, and there's just havoc going around. And we don't find out till later on in the episode what actually went down and how her mother died, and how this haunts Hope as well. She got to see her mother died, and she was very interesting to see how that played out. But all in all, I really like this pilot. It sets up a lot of mystery going forward for this CRM group. And we're at the start, we don't really know if they're good, if they're bad. When we first meet them, it's very interesting also. They get off this helicopter, and the leader of this kind of branch of the Civic Republic is Elizabeth Kublik. She seems like a good person, but we find out later that she's not. She probably believes what she's doing is the right thing, but it's probably not. She believes that she's doing the right thing and that this is for the future of society and the way going forward. But later on, this town, which they talk about, is the 3 communities coming together. They talk about Omaha, they talk about Nebraska, and then we don't know where the Civic Republic is located. But the end of this episode is very interesting. Okay, we have Iris and we have Hope, the sisters. They get a message from their father saying safety is not assured. This gets them thinking that their father is in grave danger in New York. Now, the reason we find out that their father is in New York, is a little bit Kublik's character. To gain their trust, gives them a map of where their father is located. Not exactly a pinpoint location, but what state he's in. He's in the New York state. Somewhere there, their father is located. She rips off a piece of that map. She gives it to them to try and gain their trust, because they're questioning her. Like, you never let anybody in to the Civic Republic. We don't know where you are. You don't let people engage, and vice versa, which is very interesting points. And she gives them the map, and she says not to say anything because she could get in trouble. So we fast forward then to the next day. It's supposed to be a Memorial Day, looking back on the day that the sky was falling and people died, to remember the people that died, and of course Iris and Hope's mother. So Elizabeth Kublek's character is there, and she's given her speech about the next generation, about the future of the world, and about how Iris and Hope's father is doing great work, and he's a scientist. He's trying to help find the cure, and she gives great praise to Iris as well, as saying that she is studying to be a scientist, and she in the future will be just like her father. But then when Iris gets up to give her speech, she questions Elizabeth Kublek's character, she questions the CRM, she questions absolutely everything. And Elizabeth Kublek's character didn't show it, but I'm sure her character did not like her position being questioned. And she goes to Iris and says, "You don't trust us, but you will." All very mysterious dialogue, and it gives us even more questions. But the group of Iris, of Hope, of Elton, of Silas, these 4 teenagers, have decided to embark on a journey to find Iris and Hope's father, because safety is not ensured. This has them alarmed. We fast forward, they go on the road. This is big for them. This is scary. They have never faced anything like this before. They've never fought walkers. They haven't been trained. But Elton has been trained in karate. Hope has been getting Hook to train her how to kill walkers. So it all kind of sets up that these have been training for the outside world without even knowing it. And then also an interesting character is Silas. We don't get to see much about him. He's a janitor, but we get to hear girls in the background talking about how he should be in jail for what he did. So we'll get to find out more about that in future episodes, which I found interesting. But once they're out in the journey, once they're on that journey to find their father in New York, which they think he's in New York, Felix and Hook realize that the girls and then Elton and Silas have gone. They've left. So that's probably going to get them on a journey to try and track down them. But then we fast forward to the end of the episode, where the big talk has taken place. This group, this community I should say, is of 9,000 people. We find that earlier on in the episode. 9,000. And they're all dead. The CRM have massacred 9,000 people. Now it looks like there's a brick wall that is smashed down. Walkers must have got through that, but they didn't get through it on their own. This is a big setup by the Civic Republic. I don't know why they decided to kill these 9,000 people, why they massacred them like this. They could have just let them live their life day to day. What's the big goal? Why did Civic Republic want to do this? Did they do this because that Elizabeth Kublek's character be in a position of power? Her power was questioned, and this is her response to Iris killing all this community, showing the power that she has. Maybe she just got pissed off. I don't know. But then one of the other soldiers goes to Elizabeth Kublek's character. We checked all the campus, we couldn't find her, and Elizabeth Kublek's character goes, "Good." Now, is that good? Why is that good? And who are they actually looking for? Are they looking for Iris because she's training to be a scientist and maybe she can help her father? Maybe her father is actually dead and Iris is the closest thing to him? I don't know. Or do they want Hope? There's so much mystery around this episode, and I can't wait for episode 2 and the rest of this season to find out what all this mystery leads to. Now, the CRM they're not good people. And earlier on in the episode, they say that they only had enough to send 1 helicopter, but then Hope sees 4 or 5 helicopters carrying containers. Now, were those containers carrying walkers? Were they carrying soldiers? Were they carrying supplies? I don't know. But for them to massacre 9,000 people in a community is just brutal. It's cold. But all in all, this episode 1 for The World Beyond has me interested, it has me intrigued, and I definitely will check out episode 2. This links in big time to the Rick Grimes movies, the CRM, the A's, the B's, the three intertwined circles. And where exactly is this Civic Republic group located? We have this campus of people which was massacred. They're kind of an off branch of Omaha, which is about 1,000 miles away. Then Nebraska comes into this as well. Is it those three communities along with Civic Republic? Is that what makes up the three circles? I don't know. Then what's New York to this? How big is the Civic Republic? How many branches, how many places around America have they? My theory is that the Civic Republic is all over. I don't exactly know what the three circles intertwined mean, but I think it's definitely more than just Nebraska. It's definitely more than Omaha. It's definitely more than New York. I think there's a lot more to this. Rick Grimes, people have said that he is on his way to Philadelphia. That's where he was taken to. I don't know. But it's all just a big mystery, and I'm actually on the edge of my seat wanting to know more about this. I think Scott M. Gimple, who gets a lot of shit for his last 2 seasons of show running on the main show, and I don't agree with a lot of his storytelling exploits in those 2 seasons, but I think he set this up very, very well. This is his baby. This is his idea. This Civic Republic, this CRM. The A's, the B's, the helicopters, the mystery, and that's what he kind of is. He's a very mysterious guy, even when he's talking about the main show. He doesn't give too much away, and I actually like that. And these characters, some of the dialogue wasn't great, some of the acting was okay. People were shitting on the acting, but we haven't got to see enough yet. I want to see more of these characters, more of the backstory. We haven't just got a sole episode surrounded around the kids. I wonder will we get to see more of the Civic Republic group. I want to see more of them. I want to see more of Elizabeth Kublek's character because she seems like a bad person. And these soldiers as well are very accurate in their shots. They're very brutal. They do as they're told. But all in all, I'm looking forward to the rest of this season. 100%. But guys, let me know your thoughts on the debut of World Beyond. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you find it boring or did you find it interesting? Do you like the mystery that they're setting up? Give a like, comment, subscribe, comment below guys your thoughts on this video. Come follow me on all the social medias and talk about the one thing we love, which is movies and TV. See you next time guys, and definitely enjoy The Walking Dead World Beyond.